Hi, my name's Paul. Today I'm going to walk you through a demo of the Proofpoint Essentials email security product line. But before I do that, I thought I'd give you a brief overview of who Proofpoint is in case you're not familiar with us. Proofpoint's been in business for over 20 years now. We're over 4,300 employees, and back in 2020, we did over $1 billion in revenue. Today, we protect 87 of the Fortune 100 companies, so companies like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Home Depot, Walmart, Pfizer, they're all using Proofpoint for email security. And we've been recognized by third parties like Gartner. We've been in the upper right leaders quadrant for email security for the past 10 years. Part of our success, I think, can be attributed to our investment in research and development, innovation, acquiring technology, buying companies. We currently own all of our own technology, and we stay really focused on fighting the bad guys and doing our best job to protect customers from malicious content and breaches. We have a high renewal rate, over 90%. So once customers are on our platform, they tend to stick around. So jumping in right now to packages that are available for you to choose from a services perspective, there's a number of different packages, and depending on what features you require, you would determine what package to go with. For example, the professional packages on the right side of this slide are for archiving. So if you have a need for archiving, you would be choosing between the two professional packages. If you don't need archiving, then you're really choosing between the business or advanced packages. The main advantages that the advanced packages have over the business packages is that the advanced packages include attachment sandboxing as well as encryption. So if you have to send confidential information securely, you can do so with the advanced package. The plus packages in the green, the benefits are you get some additional features. So like the advanced plus package, you get email warning tags as well as one-click message pull. Email warning tags obviously gives your users insight into caution. Hey, this email came from a lookalike domain or a domain that was registered in the last 30 days, maybe a lookalike domain. We also do have security awareness training, which I'll jump into that a little bit. Security awareness training is an add-on product, and it's recommended from a training perspective because your employees are really your last line of defense. And so the better trained and educated they are on what to look out for, the better protected you are. No filter is going to block 100% of everything. And so therefore, having trained and educated employees is really valuable from a security perspective. This product is easy to implement. There's over 55 different training modules you can train your employees on, and you can send them simulated phishing emails or attachment emails to test them to see how they're doing. The other nice thing with this product is there are no license minimums or term commitments. It's all month to month. With that, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the console here and walk you through a quick demo. This is the admin console. When you log in, it lands you on this dashboard page where you can see the last 30 days of traffic, and you can drill down to take a look at specific phishing emails if you want, or virus emails. You can also export this page if you need to present management with some reporting information. This is a cloud service, so it works by changing your MX record and pointing it at Proofpoint. On the outbound side, you would set up a smart host to direct outbound traffic at us, but you can identify server information in the domains tab where we should deliver the clean email, for example, Office 365. Then we have an integration with Office 365 as well as Google for the outbound traffic. Now, some of the configuration options that are available for you, you have options around email, obviously, and spam settings. You can adjust the sensitivity, which is a toggle bar. You can go more aggressive to the left or more lenient to the right. Most people will leave this between 5 and 8. You want to block the most junk that you can, but not block legitimate email. There's some other filter settings in here around phishing emails and only letting admins release a phishing email, as well as a bulk filter. If you want to block newsletter subscription type stuff, you can do that. In addition to the spam filter settings, you also have the option to create custom filter policies for both inbound and outbound traffic. So if you want to block certain file attachments, or you want to create a custom policy for your CFO, just making sure your CFO doesn't get spoofed, or you want to look for emails going to the CFO that contain, say, wire transfer. You could then quarantine it and have an email alert so you can go take a look at it. On the outbound side, you can do things like set up policies for encrypting email, trigger words like type encrypt in the subject line, or you could have our smart identifiers look for social security numbers or credit cards. There's other DLP filters as well. We do have a number of dictionaries. So if you're a healthcare organization, you could enable healthcare dictionaries to look for those terms or personal information, and then take the appropriate action if that content is seen going outbound. Do you want us to quarantine it? Do you want us to send it encrypted? So the system's really flexible, gives you a lot of control. There's some other settings you can do with email tagging if you do want to enable that. And that's where we can give your users insight, proceed with caution. This email came from a domain registered in the last 30 days. This email came from an external sender, things like that. And those are just tips to your users on what to watch out for. From an advanced threat protection feature, I'm going to open up an email here. We do have URL defense, which is where we rewrite the links coming inbound to your users. As I hover over this ESPN link, you'll see in the little box it opens up, it says URL defense. And this is so when the user clicks the link, it's actually going to check with Proofpoint. And if we know that that site has since been compromised and now contains malicious content, we'd block your user from going there. Oftentimes, the bad guys send a link, and it may be fine when they first send it. They just wait 30 minutes and then compromise that site. And so this is a way of providing real-time protection for links that may originally be clean, but later are turned to be malicious or bad. In addition to URL defense, we do also have attachment defense sandboxing. And that's where we will sandbox attachments coming in from the outside world. We will investigate the attachment. If it has multiple links, we'll follow the links. Is it taking you somewhere to a Dropbox site that has an attachment, that has a link that takes you somewhere else? And we'll follow the attack chain. And so we offer best of breed protection from attachments with our attachment sandboxing capabilities. So a lot of nice features in here protecting your users. From a user management perspective, you can add users into our console as either an end user or a silent user. And the main difference really is an end user can log in. So in this window here, I'm logged in as an end user, and I could search my own quarantine. I could take action and release messages or not. It's up to the admin of whether they want to let me have that capability. I could just review messages and contact the admin to release stuff. So it's up to you as a customer on how you want your users, what capabilities you want your users to have access to, including these tabs on the left. You can hide these tabs on the left if you don't want users playing with spam settings or what have you. One benefit for allowing your user to log into the UI is they can access the continuity feature, which we call the emergency inbox. And so this is where basically if messages were spooling, say the server was down or Office 365 was down, the user could come in there and see the spooled messages. They could reply, they could compose, send an outbound message. So it's a great way for users to go ahead and continue to send and receive email, even though the server's down. And I'll click compose here. If I wanted to send an outbound, you can see what happens. Okay, so if you decided not to allow your users to log into the UI, then you do have the option where you could send them a daily digest or quarantine summary email that looks like this. And if they wanted to release a message from their quarantine, they can simply click the links on the right here, release or release and approve. You can also make those inoperable again if you don't want your users to be able to release messages and you force them to call your help desk. These digests can get sent out once a day or as frequently as every 4 hours. Just know at the bottom of the digest, the user can actually request a new digest anytime that they want. They just click on the request new digest link and we'll send them a new one. So some other options in here within the console, if your help desk gets a call from a user and you need to go find a message and take action, you can simply do a log search and you can search for inbound or outbound traffic. And you can search for more than just the quarantine. I could search for clean email or any, and I'll just do an any search here. And this is a company-wide search. And it'll show me, because I chose any, it's going to show some messages that were blocked for being fraud or a clean email that was delivered. And then you can take action if you need to. Hey, I want this message. I'm going to go ahead and release it, or I'm going to release and approve the sender going forward. So you have complete control. You can also investigate specific messages if you need to. You can go in and look at the header info. You can download the headers. You can look at any triggering filters, like if it was a DLP policy. So you have quick access to email if you need to take action on it. So in addition to the email security features and capabilities, I'll touch on security awareness training, and I'll launch that admin console here. And again, this is where you have the option to send your employees a simulated phishing email or assign training to them. Maybe they're a new hire employee, for example, and you want them to take 5 or 6 training modules, you could do that. If I wanted to create a new phishing campaign, we do have thousands of templates. Being an email security company, we constantly will update and add new templates in here that you can use. So when you create a campaign, you have lots of options to choose from. So maybe I want to send one related to payment process to our finance team, or a DocuSign one, or Outlook. Maybe it's a password reset, or a Twitter, or suspended login alert, or whatever. You can customize these emails if you need to, so you can make them really tricky if you want. You also have options, if you want to let your user know, hey, oops, you fell for it, when they click on the link or they open the attachment. Or you could, obfuscate it and make it look like a bad link page so they don't really know that they did it. You also could decide if you want to auto enroll them in training if they do click the link. Hey, you click the link, so now you have to take avoiding dangerous links. You have to take data entry phishing. Maybe you have to take email security. And there are other training modules in here, like physical security, not necessarily email related, but they're great training modules for new hire employees on best practices, things like, don't leave your laptop sitting at the table at Starbucks while you go refill your coffee. So that's a quick overview of the security awareness training. Again, I really recommend this from a security perspective, because the better trained and educated your employees are, they're really your last line of defense. I'm going to jump back to the admin console here, and I'll touch on archiving. If you had an interest in archiving, you can set up users who have discovery capabilities where they could do searches. And when you set up archiving, you get to decide the retention period. Do you want us to store the archive mail for 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year? It's up to you, from 1 to 10 years. You can also put things in a legal hold if you need to retain mail longer than that. I can just do a quick search, and I could export this search if I wanted to, or I could find a particular email and forward that to an individual. I can grant people discovery search capabilities where they can only search certain individuals' emails, or they can search company-wide. So the system's really pretty flexible, allows you to manage email. You cannot delete any of the email that's in the archive. It would just drop off after the retention period is met. So that's a brief overview of the archive solution. With that, I'm going to jump back to the slides real quick, and I'll just wrap up with a quick summary of why Proofpoint, in case you're not familiar with this, again, best of breed technology. We invest heavily in our innovation, our performance, being a Gartner Magic Quadrant leader, protecting 87 of the Fortune 100. You're getting enterprise class protection for the SMB. I'd say our functionality provides a breadth of different features that you have the options of enabling and flexibility in managing it. So you can decide what experience your end users have. Do you want to give them access to certain things or not? And the flexibility to change on a per user basis. Each user could have different settings if you want. Very granular controls and the ability to create custom policies to manage mail flow both inbound and outbound. With that, I'm going to wrap up today's demo and like to thank you for your time and have a great day.